Is there something you want to tell them? Join Animal Connections and renowned pet psychic Nicole Elizabeth as she connects with your pets both living and past to deliver messages and receive answers to your questions. Here now is your host, Nicole Elizabeth.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Animal Connections. You're watching the Spirit Realm Network, and tonight is Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And tonight I'm here to give you free readings and connections to your pets. So anyone who's watching on, say, Facebook or other platforms, if you pop on over to thespiritrealm.net and watch, I think it's Watch TV, Watch Live. You'll be able to connect with me there because there's a chat there. So you pop your questions in the chat and I will be able to connect with your pets. So the best way for me, you actually can put photos. So there's a little plus sign and a circle. So you can put your photo in there if you like, so we can all see your beautiful pets. But the best way to connect is by placing, I'm going to use my dog, Vixen, dog living. Why does she love eating the cat food? Those sorts of things, or just Obi, dog, past, why was he so nervous on lead, or something like that. You know, just something I can connect with your pet. I like to have their name because I find that it's rude not to address a pet by its name, just like it's rude not to address a person by their name. And I connect whether they're living or past. So I'm not sure how many people will be around given this time of year, because it is a busy time of year where I am from. And if you haven't guessed, I'm from Australia. So I know there's lots happening in the country at the moment, and people are on holidays and all sorts of things. So, and if you are on holiday, that's a really good question to ask about how your animal handles holidays, how to prepare your pet for a holiday. What does my pet think of going on holidays, or how can I make them less nervous going on holidays? Things like that. We can work together and get some sort of solution and get your animal's perspective across to you. So I'm just going to check the chat and see what's happening. Let me see. I might check actually on Facebook, because I normally don't have the opportunity to check on Facebook when I'm live. And I do feel that sometimes people pop messages on the Facebook live and I can sometimes miss them because I don't see it. Let me see. Oh, it's not nice seeing yourself on video. That's quite funny. Okay, so there are a few people on Facebook. So if you want to pop over to the chat on the network on the website, which is thespiritrealm.net, and if you watch TV live, and there's a chat in there. If you join the chat, I'll be able to answer your questions that you have. So if you move over from Facebook to the website, that'll be good. So is it Michelle has a question, anything for you? So if you'll just pop over to the chat and we can have, we can connect that way. And then I can connect to your pet and what you have and what you want me to ask your pet, or what you want me to look into or investigate. Now, this is a really good time of year. Let me see. So I'm just going to pop over to the chat myself so I don't miss anything. Hello. So I know the chat's working. Now, this is a really good time of year to remind everyone that animals cannot eat chocolate. It's very, very bad for them. And I always say this is the time of year where we probably tend to eat a little bit more junk food than normal. And if we are eating things like a chip from a chip packet, what I always do is I cut the chip packet open, because pets have been known to get their nose stuck in chip packets, and then it forms a seal as they're breathing, and then they can end up that some pets have died from sticking their heads in chip packets. And it's a horrible, horrible way for an owner to find their pet. So this is a good time of year to remind everyone that if you're going to have chips, if you're going to have junk food, make sure that your pets are away from chocolate. Make sure that you cut the chip packets open or decanter them into another vessel, so that if anything happens, if they try to go through the rubbish, they won't end up having an accident, and could be a fatal accident. So it's always good just to remind people of the dangers. Like Christmas time as well, there's lots of, fruit cake and hot crust buns and all these sorts of things that are, the fruit is not very good for the animals. So there you go. There's my PSA for the animals this time of year, to make sure that everyone is safe and that their animals are safe also. The other thing too, if anyone is away or going on holidays or anything like that, just make sure they're wearing their collar. I know that's not animal communication stuff, but I've worked with missing pets for the past decade, and trust me, little things like that, just with a collar with their name on it and their number on it, can get your pet home so quickly and stop a lot of stress and worry for pets and owners. Now, that's not always the reason why pets go missing. Sometimes pets go missing from home for various different reasons. Sometimes they get spooked and run off. Sometimes they're chasing something. Sometimes they just want to go on an adventure. Cats are really well known for that. And sometimes it takes them a little bit to get back. So sometimes when they have identifying information on, people can see it's someone's pet, and then they are more inclined to help. So there's my other PSA for this time of year. Now let me see who is on. Check the Facebook page actually. Let me see. Oh, did you hear my rooster out there? So for those of you who don't know, I do rescue farm animals, and I do have a lot of noises in the background from my pets. And at the moment, my roosters have tried to say hello to everyone. So everyone that's over on the Facebook platform, if you can pop over to the chat on spiritrealm.net, and it's on Watch Live TV, there's a chat there, and just interact with me there so we can have a conversation, or want me to pick something up about your pet, let me know. Or if you have a question about animal communication, what is it? How does it work? Anything. A lot of people are curious about it, don't understand it, think it's a little bit different than, say, psychic medium work. And it is to a point, because you're speaking to a pet, but it's kind of bringing pets' perspective and the fact that they are sentient beings with their own thoughts and feelings out into the open, and being their vessel for them. So I find it a really good tool, especially to help with rescue animals. You can sort of get their energy and you can feel where they're at, so you know how you can help them and which way you can go with animal communication. It really does help. And a lot of you guys are doing this already. Hi, Debbie. So Debbie can't get you on the network. That's interesting. I might be able to monitor both. We'll see. It's not a crazy busy day today, so that's good. So I can see. I'll just flick between two. That's totally cool. So you guys are probably doing this already. So I'll give you an example of this. If you just have this feeling about your pet, something's not quite right, maybe your pet to everyone else looks totally okay, but you've just got that niggling feeling something's not right, or they're just not feeling well, and then say you take them to a vet and then you find out that there is something wrong. What you're doing is you're picking up on their energy, and it's all energy exchange. So you are connected to them, so you have an easier, I guess, line of communication. And sometimes that can make it a little bit too difficult, because sometimes it's so natural that their communication is coming to you that you think, I'm just making it up. But then when you're in that situation when your animal's not well, and you know it beyond any reasonable doubt, beyond what anyone's saying to you, and even if people are saying they're fine, there's nothing wrong, and you know there's something wrong, that's them sending you their energy and letting you know that there's something not right, and you're picking it up. So we actually do that with our own pets a lot. So you guys are probably doing a lot more than you realize. And even things like you get sidetracked with the time, and then you're thinking, all of a sudden a thought pops in your mind. It's like, oh, have I fed the dogs? And then you look, and then it's like half an hour after you're meant to feed them, and they're sort of sitting there waiting for you. But what they're doing is sending you the message that, hang on, it's dinner time, I'm hungry. And even though you're wrapped up in your own, whatever you're doing, you're still getting their messages and the information from your pets. So we actually do it more often than we think. But what I do is just kind of like highlight it for people. So let me have a look and see what's going on. Okay, which one should I watch? Let me see. Whoop. Either the chat or the... Ah, Deb, you're on. You found it. Got it. Hello. Sometimes it can be tricky actually getting onto the chat. I found it myself. So I think it's on Watch Live, the Spirit Realm Live, Watch Live, and then join the chat. Just pop your name in the chat. So Deb, did you have any questions for me? Well, I'll just check the Facebook page. Let me see. Oh, what have I done? There we go. Okay. So everyone watching on Facebook, I'm going to need you to pop over onto the spiritrealm.net, onto the network, so we can have, so I can answer your questions on that platform. And let me see, where are you, Deb? Okay. Now I know Deb, so everyone who is on, I'll wait for your question, but Deb's actually a client of mine, and I've spoken to, how many of your pets? Quite a few, actually. A few cats, a few dogs, living and past. And they're all so different. And Deb, I'm going to give you a bit of background on one of her. It was a cat, I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong. But Deb raised this kitten from a neonatal, which is actually really difficult to do. So anyone out there that's a rescuer and has neonatals, like, they can be touch and go. Like, they should be with their mum. Sometimes, you know, for different reasons, mum gets killed, mum rejects them, you know, they're found in the wild, all sorts of things. And people have to raise them. And it's actually really difficult and very demanding. It's like having a newborn all over again. And it's constant feeds, constant checking, warmth, everything. Everything has to have a perfect balance. And Deb was able to do that with her. Was it Bailey? No. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Who was the cat? Well, maybe it was. Is Bailey the cat, Deb? I can't remember. That you raised from neonatal. If you just pop it in the chat, just so I can confirm. So Bailey. So Deb's question is Bailey. Desexed at 6 months, now 11. Yes, my neonatal Bailey. Right. That's right. Love of my life. I've got a clear picture because I know what Bailey looks like. So I have him right there. And I believe he's actually on my website too. Let me see. Oh, where'd it go? He's 11 and now he's howling at night and treating blankets like a female. I see. I get it. Okay. Let me ask Bailey what's going on. Apart from it being that time of year, I don't know why. He just said it's that time of year. So there must be animals around you outside of your, it's not in your house because he's not reacting to anyone in your house. It's like he's a wolf. Isn't that interesting? It's like he's howling like he's a wolf too, because I'm drawing arrows towards me as if he's trying to draw them towards me. Isn't it interesting? Because even though he's desexed, they still have that instinct when they can smell and sense other cats around. I'm not getting spraying though, so that's good. It's just kind of like intention to bring them in. It's because that's what I'm getting. The energy's like coming like this. I want them to come in. I don't feel like they can come in, but I want them to come in. He's reacting. It's kind of like he's matured late. Oh, he's listening to me. Good boy, Bailey. You listen. The vet was no help. Oh, that's interesting. I think too, from a vet perspective, and I'm not knocking vets because we need them. We have, like doctors, we need them when we're sick. But unless it's a scientific or medical issue, it's not really one of their areas. It's kind of like I take my car to a mechanic to get fixed. I don't take my car to an accountant to do my tax. I'm sorry, I don't take my car to an accountant to get fixed. An accountant does my tax, mechanic does my car, vet does the medical, and then communicates with the pet. So I like to look at it like that. However, there are some vets out there that are animal communicators, and I have actually spoken to them and done workshop with them, and they are amazing because they really want to understand pets, not just on a scientific level. So I know I'm going on a tangent because I feel like I'm getting tapped. I feel like Bailey's actually tapping me. Like, come on, just get to the point. Okay. Where are we? 11. Just seeing these comments. Sorry, guys. Okay, so we've got 2 male cats. Isn't that interesting? In the comments, so we've got Deb and Bailey. So Bailey is howling. He's 11, and he's treating the blankets as if they are females. So I can understand that. And the first impression was that he's trying to call people, sorry, not people, females to him, and there are females around. And now Jan has put a message in the comments saying there are 11 cats total now, and 5 are newborn. My male keeps crying and going after male and female cats. Can you tell me why this behavior is like this? So I'm going to tap into your cat after, but it's interesting that there's 2 male cats playing up. And I feel like they're for different reasons, but it feels like it's the time of year. I don't know whether there's a shift. I don't know if anyone has, I don't do astrology or anything like that, but there may actually be something happening. This is a shift. I don't know why. I speak with my hands. It feels like there's something happening like that, and it's heightening energy, if that makes sense. Back to Bailey. Okay. With Bailey, I'm writing down the word that's coming to me from Bailey is attention. It's like he wants the attention. I know you give him the attention. It's not your attention he's after. He gets that. It's their attention. And I actually feel like, I don't know what the right scientific word is, whether it's chemically or hormonal, maybe hormonal. There's something that his body's reacting to what's going on outside the property. And I don't mean outside just your home. I mean, there are others around, and there are females around, and he must be able to hear the females because he's wanting them. And I'm not getting any interest in what's the house, because when I'm feeling the house, because I know you've got different levels and different animals in your house, it's more of like, I just want to flick them away. I'm not interested in that. I want what's out there. I want them to bring them to me. So in a sense, he's trying to call them to him. So how can we help that, Bailey? I'm getting a feeling I want to go outside at night. I don't know if he does go outside at night, so you might be able to pop it in the chat, but I feel like he wants to see what's going on outside at night. I think he's a bit of a scaredy cat, though, from what I'm feeling, but it's kind of like curiosity. That's the other thing I'm getting from him. Almost I just want to see what's going on. And then there must be a tomcat around too in your area, because that's where I feel like a little bit of a hesitation, but there's more. If you move past that, there's more. It feels like there's more females around. Have you noticed any cats in the what do they call it? I've got a headache. What's going on with that? Oh, it's probably Stewie coming in saying hello. Sewers, in the gutters where there's because cats move very quickly through there, and they can cover a lot of ground through those. They pop in and go through and then pop out. And I feel like I'm looking through one of those areas at your house, but it's not Bailey. Others are looking at him. Honestly feels like he's acting like a bit of a wolf. Isn't that interesting? Oh, sorry. Let me just check the chat. Okay. So there's a neighbor's cat hanging around lately. There you go. And that's odd, as he has 3 sisters, but it's not the sisters he's concerned about. It's kind of, because every time I ask him about what's going on, it's kind of like he's doing that to me. It's not that. He has an enclosed backyard. Okay, that is good. With a cat net, and yes, he's a huge softie. So he wouldn't be able to back up what he, I don't think he wants to do anything anyway. It just feels like there's another cat that's stopping him from getting over there. There's something over there that I want. That's the females over there. Oh, the neighbor's cat is a male. There we go. So it's attacking the neighbor's cat behind us. Right. Okay, so he's being the problem. He's the one that's stopping, and there are other cats. So this cat's come in and is like the tomcat of the area. Wouldn't be surprised if he's actually entire too, because they smell different. And I feel like Bailey knows that. But I also feel like he has he knows all the smells in the area. So I feel like this barrier, this cat, the one that's coming around, is stopping Bailey from maybe connecting. Maybe he connects with those girls because it's kind of like I want to draw them back in, but there's that block. So I feel like that's what he's doing. This is me. This is just me being nosy and curious. I would actually go outside at night and look for this cat. I wouldn't be mean to it. I would just want to see what it's doing, just want to see how it's acting and see how it reacts to my cat. And I'd probably have a little word with it. I wouldn't be mean, but I would explain to it that, look, you're allowed to come around. You cannot beat my cat like you can beat the neighbor's cat up. And that can be for different reasons as well. I'm going to go on so many different tangents if I don't pull it back to Bailey. But I would actually ask this cat if he could, keep it elsewhere so that the female cats can come back and visit Bailey, because I feel like there's visitations that are stopping and these girls are hiding, and that's why I'm feeling like we're in this hidey hole, and that's why I'm seeing it more of as a sewerage type thing, I guess, in the gutters. I don't even know how to word that. They're sort of hiding. So I feel like there's a little bit of maybe turf war going on there that's blocking Bailey from the girls. Again, not his sisters. And it's quite possible the other one, wants to see Bailey's sisters. Now, they're not fighting, so that's good, and there's no spraying going on, so that's really good. So I actually don't feel like Bailey understands that part of being a cat anyway. And I mean that in the best possible way. Like it's like a little mini human Bailey in a sense. He's not really he's a cat, but he doesn't always act like a cat, and he doesn't always know how to react to situations. And I feel like this is one of them. So I hope that makes sense. So please let me know in the chat if that makes sense with Bailey. Okay. What else do we have? So Deborah, you make perfect sense, because when my other two fight, he rubs to protect the little one. Oh, little baby. Poor Bailey. He runs. Okay. And Bodhi sits at the door, and this cat sits in my driveway every night. My goodness. And that's the problem. Even if we can control our pets on our property, it doesn't mean other cats and other owners do. And it can be really difficult. And this can be also this is more for everyone out there. This can be very difficult if you've got a cat that's spraying inside near, say, the windows or the exits, because they're sort of putting their smells out there to stop what's out there. And unless that stops, it's going to be very difficult to stop this behavior as well. I mean, you can curb it and you can tell them what not to do and try and get them to do the right thing. But that is actually a cat behavior that they do happen to do, and there are other animals around. So that can be really difficult with cats. That's just on another little tangent, as I like to go on. And Deborah, thank you. Yes, he doesn't know he's a cat. That's okay. He's allowed. I can't believe he's 11. Wow, that's really cool. So Jan, another cat issue. It's a cat day today. You know, it's really interesting. Was it last week or the last time I had actually my cats? And I think I connected with a few clients that had cat weeing issues, and my cats were doing it as well. It's kind of like my cats show me what happens before I get the questions from clients as well. I find it fascinating. Like, animals can just tap into your energy and just see what's in your aura. They read energy that way. Again, another side note. Sorry, Jan, I'm going to get to you. I am going to get to you. Jan, there are 11 cats total now and 5 are newborn. Oh, that's so beautiful. 1 male, if you have photos, I'd love to see, just out of curiosity. 1 male keeps crying and going after male and female cats. Can you tell me why his behavior is like this? Yes. Okay. Let me see what I've got. Crying and going. Let me see. I'm getting like for me, I'm doing this, and this for me means it doesn't matter whether it's male or female. It's the same outcome. It's like, it's interesting because often pets know whether an animal is male or female. It's just it's known, but this one doesn't care. It's kind of like, I still want that. Why is it with this attention thing this week? Okay. I'm getting this. It sounds very backwards, but this is how I'm seeing it. I'm getting this. I'm doing this crying and going after. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female, but what I'm getting is I don't actually want you near me. I just want you all the way. I'm going to cry because you're near me, but I'm going to attack you. I'm going to go after you. Well, not attack, but I'm going to go after you. Kind of like I'm going to push you away. But I'm going to, it looks like the actual opposite behavior, what it is, like I'm trying to get you, but I just want you away. And it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, just that's the type of energy I'm getting. And can I just ask, does this cat, when it cries, I feel like it's looking, almost trying to get your attention. Feel like it's kind of like I want you to intervene. And sometimes I stand back and watch and wait to see what you're doing. That's the energy I'm getting from this cat. Let me know in the chat. Let me have a look at the chat. Come on, phone. Okay, I'm not sure. It's in the chat, but Jen, if that makes sense, please let me know. There's also the other thing I'm getting to with that, Jen, is it also feels like in their mind it's too many. I just want to have this own little area on my own. That's odd. Rochelle's just commented, Happy Easter. Happy Easter to everyone out there. Anything from Stewie today? Now, I don't know if you're watching before, but I was talking to Deb about Bailey and my head started hurting. And I said, my Stewie must be around. So he's still around. He must have known you were coming or watching. But yeah, that's so funny. I feel like Stewie would have liked to have rabbit. Oh, that's so bad. I've got an itchy nose. Whose pet has an itchy nose? Something to do with, no, it's not scent, it's itchy. Okay, let me see if there's anything on Facebook. Oh, goodness. So many steps to get through just to get to the show and not have it blaring. Okay. So anyone who is on Facebook, can you just pop over for me, please, to the Spirit Realm Net and look at Watch Live, I think it is, and then you can join the chat and we can have a chat. We can interact that way. It's just easier that way than on Facebook, although this is streamed to both platforms. And if Jan is there, I'll just check the comments to see if Jan's commented. Oh, Stewie loved Easter. That's so funny. Okay, so Jan's commented, sometimes seems he is looking for the 2 girl middle cats. If he doesn't see them, but attacks the one. That for me, can I just say, that feels like I'm feels like I'm redirecting my annoyance. It's just because the cat's there that I'm having a go at it. It doesn't mean that it's kind of like, because it's just there. You're in my space. I want you, fine, but you're there, so you're going to cop it. That's just, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not agreeing with the behavior, but I just feel like this cat is doing that. And I feel like this cat actually does want a little bit more space. Now, that is just the cat's opinion. It doesn't mean whether it's 100% right, because remember, everything that I say is coming from the pet's energy and opinion. And if anyone's ever had a conversation with someone, opinions aren't always right. It's just someone's opinion. So take everything with a grain of salt. And it may just make you look at the situation a little bit differently and go, oh, okay, at this point in time, this is what the cat is. I can see the cat wants a little bit more space. So let's just get out of the way. Also, too, the other thing, it was like a little click. They're also replicating hunting within the group. So a lot of the times when cats are like fighting, they're kind of like in that mode, and there's a lot of things going on in their body, and then they just kind of like, well, they actually attack, but they're mimicking hunting. So if they can't get to what they want, they'll mimic it that way. And even my cats do this, and my cats get on, and they used to sleep together when they were growing up and all sorts of things. But at a certain time, one will just jump the other. They don't hurt each other, but it sounds horrific. But they don't actually puncture. They're not actually, we don't have actual fights. We have the cries, the scratches, that. But that's all it is. And for them, it's keeping up the skill of hunting. It's also, you're there, so you're going to cop it, because this is what I want to do. This is what my body's telling me to do. You're there. I'm looking at you. You're not there. Right. Boom. This one gets it. It's very like, they just act on impulse. And we can try and stop it before they get to that point. But you really have to watch them. And you'll notice that a lot of them don't actually do harm to each other. They're just mimicking that. Now, what it can do is emotional harm to the other cat that doesn't like it. So I would interrupt it. If you're feeling like there's one girl in particular that is not coping with the way that he's acting, I'd interrupt it, because then he has to learn that, okay, not this one, or not this way, or not this time, because as much as they live in their cat world, they're still in your home, and you are mama cat regardless. And I'm not about being mean. I'm not about being aggressive or anything like that, but I am about being, I don't want you to do that. And I've said so. So just like you would with your children, you don't want your children fighting. If your children were play fighting, and they've got sticks and stuff and were punching each other, but they weren't actually hurting each other, it's still annoying. And you have the right to say, guys, stop. And they stop. It's the same thing with your cats. I feel like I'm going on lots of tangents today, but I feel like it's just the day for that's where we're going, because it's kind of like that's just where their minds, it's not even their minds, it's mainly just where their bodies are going. This is just what we're doing, and this is in the moment. And then you'll find 5 minutes later, it's fine. Animals are very in the moment. And I'm going to kick it up a notch for everyone out there who's listening. When you do have things like that happening, just check where your mind is. Because if you're not in the moment, if you're focusing on something, if you're worrying on something, they may do that just to pull you back in the moment. So cats are very smart like that. Cats, dogs, any animal, they live in the moment. They are in the moment. And if they think you're not in the moment, they'll be like, right, let's get her in the moment. But they're not doing it they're trying to be helpful. But the way they do it doesn't always make sense to how we would do it, So I hope that makes sense. I hope that my tangents haven't been too much of a tangent, but let me know in the comments. Animals are so amazing, and there's so many different ways we can go. You could go, if an animal is sick, you can also look at where they're sick and how are you processing things in your life. If your cat, and I'm not talking about the way their ears, if they're prone to ear infections or things like that, but if all of a sudden they have an ear infection, there's no reason for it. And then there's a place in your life where you're not listening to what's going on, or someone keeps berating you and it's just constantly in your ear, that's actually a way that they can bring it to you and say, look, there's something going on here. You're either not listening or someone's just constantly in your ear, and you need to stop that because it's out of balance. And generally, we don't take notice in our own life because we just deal with it, or we just ignore it, or there's many ways we deal with things or don't deal with things. But when our energy is off and we have a pet that's very connected to us, and then they're like, well, hang on, this is out of balance. So they'll show you, because we generally will pay attention if it's our pet or our children, and we'll generally not pay attention if it's ourselves. So that's a way that they can bring that to us and go, hang on. And you'll find that often when you deal with that, it goes away. Or you could have something that's really persistent in a pet, that medication is just not working. And the minute you deal with what's happening in your life, it goes away. So again, I'm going on another tangent, but I feel like the animals need it, and that's what needs to come out today. So that's what's coming out today, guys. I know it's a lot. It's a lot. Sorry, Jan has left there's some chats in here. I'll get back to the chat. That'll be nice, isn't it? Let me see. Rochelle, I scratched my lip when you said that. That's funny. Obviously, when I was scratching, so you were the one that was itchy. That's funny. Oh, she just lays down so he can't get her. She's only she's only a little more than 4 months old. See, I would stop that behavior. That's just me. She's obviously shutting down, and you don't want that to become her default. You know, obviously it's a way to appease him, but I'd be saying he's not doing the right thing. And actually, I'm going to pull that back to what I was saying just before about balance in your life. Is there someone that's doing that to you? And it doesn't mean physically, but emotionally. It could be at work. It could be, and I know this isn't a person read, but this is where animals and humans do connect and overlap. Is there someone that's sort of doing that to you in your life? And that's how you're feeling, and that's how they're playing it out. That could be another reason to look into it as well. Oh, Jen, he knows when I'm emotional. There you go. And so that could just be, isn't it funny how it all kind of connects? I go on these little tangents and it all comes back round to circle. Okay, Rochelle, you need to scratch your nose again because it's really itchy. My goodness. Okay, so when that happens, this whole, and also to look at both perspectives. Is someone doing that to you in your life, what he's doing to this cat, and are you doing what this cat is doing? Are they actually playing out what's happening emotionally and, I was going to say not physically, but it feels like emotionally and energetically in your life? Now, you will stop that. You will get on top of that, but they're going, well, that's what you need to do. So by them showing you and you doing it in their life, it's actually helping you in your life. And so you're both mutually helping each other. And that can be a little bit woo-woo for those out there that not sure about animal communication and how can that actually connect, but it does. And you know what? If you would have asked me 15 years ago and someone told me that, I would have gone, right, okay. But then I've seen it happen in my own life. So it can be a bit of both. Whereas I feel like, to give you an example of the animals we've spoken about today, Bailey, I feel like he's doing it because it is an animal thing. It's not a mum thing. It's not an in the house thing. There are other things going on outside the house, and he's showing you, and he's acting like a cat, but he doesn't really understand how to act like a cat. So he's not doing it all that well. But that's okay because mum understands. Whereas then you've got all these cats, and then you've got this little play going on and this little going, and they're all related, and then one's shutting down, and then she's feeling a little bit, and then he doesn't care, and he's redirecting his anger to anyone because I want to be left alone. Like that, I feel like could be, and you don't have to say yes or comment in the chat at all, but it could be the way they perceive what's happening energetically in your life, and they're playing that out. And yes, it could be that they're cats and they do this, but why? Because not all, I feel like you've had many cats and that hasn't always happened. So if it was just always a cat thing, that would always be a happening thing. So that's what I'm feeling. So I hope that makes sense. We've gone on many tangents today, but I feel like we just need to. So let me see. Where are we? Where are my chats? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to find my spot on the chats. Okay. He knows we're emotional. Rochelle, exactly what's happening in my life right now. And Stewie still bring things to me from the other side. And absolutely, because it doesn't matter to them whether I say there or here, but really I feel like it overlaps in a sense. I feel like it's just in a different realm that we can't see, but they can see us. And some very few people can see that realm very clearly, like my niece, who's nearly mid-20s. She sees that realm as if you can see me on the screen. Like there is no difference to her. She's very blessed in that area, whereas I'll see a pet that's been deceased for years walk in my house, but then if I see that, it's something's coming in my life. So I feel like for them to give us stuff when they're in that realm, it's really not, why wouldn't they? Because they want to. They're still part of us. They're still connected to us. And if you can get it and they can give it to you, and that's giving them more energy to be able to do more for you, of course, because that's what they want to do in life. Sorry, guys, another tangent. Thank you so much from Jen. You're very welcome. Let me see. Today must be the day for tangents. And I feel like, again, this just must be, and it's a day for cats. So does anyone else out there have a cat question? Let's keep the theme going. Doesn't have to. If you have a dog question, that's totally fine. We've got about 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes, because there is a show on after me, The Realm of Darkness. It's a podcast. And I was actually watching it last week, and it seems very popular. So you guys, if you're interested in any of that, stay on and listen to that. Whereas I love all the paranormal, all that. I don't feel that animal communication is paranormal as such. It's just communication. But yeah, again, tangents. You were doing fine till I popped on. I wasn't getting an itchy nose at all. Just saying. So did you ever feed Stuart rabbit? I don't know why I'm getting pulled back to rabbits with him. There's something, and growing up, used to eat, I don't eat rabbits, I don't eat meat now, but growing up, it was kind of normal because, back then, there's my rooster. Why does Stewie, maybe he had this thing, Easter, you said he likes Easter, but was there something more to do specifically with the rabbits? Like the ad, because of the rabbits. The Australians will know what I mean. And to everyone else, that'll just sound absolutely crazy. Let me see. I'll just pop on Facebook to see who's on there. It's actually quite good being able to go to both. Normally I can't. Okay, Stewie's really annoying me too, Rochelle, because I'm getting it here. Not here. Here this time. So did you know if what had moved in his brain? Because the last few times we've been on air, it's always been here. But now I'm feeling it here. So did something spread in his brain before he passed? I know that's very random, but that's just the way I'm feeling it. And it hasn't actually come up. I haven't felt that before. So I'm finding that very interesting. Almost as if it must have spread. That's what I'm feeling. Where are we? So Sarah's made a comment on whales in the UK. Wow. Okay, so Sarah, if you can pop over to spiritrealm.net, there's a chat there that we can connect. Or if you do have, I don't know if you can pop anything in actually in the Facebook chat, but feel free to ask me a question. Happy to connect. And guys, I'm actually really booked. I'm booked up to the end of May. So this is probably the only area or the only place that a lot of people can get to me until June, really. So if you do have a question, whether it's this week or next week, I am on every week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Standard Time. this may be the only time you get to ask a question, definitely for free, but there's not a lot of wiggle room in my schedule in the next couple of months, which is good, but it's very busy for many, many different reasons. But then that means it's good because then a lot of animals get helped. And that's the main thing. Amber, hello, first time here. Hello, thank you for watching. Thank you everyone for interacting and watching. I know this week has been more about me explaining about animals, and it's been a little bit heavier on the real getting into things. It's not just, so there is a difference too between, this is what something I can explain, there is something different between a reading and a communication. So when you're reading energy, you're connecting to the energy, you're getting what is coming through. But when you're communicating, it's like we're talking. So a lot of the times on these sorts of platforms, you do readings and connect, but then sometimes the animals do come through and I hear them quite clearly. So does it really matter? Honestly, I don't think so, as long as you're getting the right information and you're getting the animal's perspective come through. But generally when we have a session, it's when I actually can be able to sit down and really ask the animal and have the time for the animal to, one, warm up to me and give me the energy and information that they want to give me. So that can be the difference between a reading and a communication. So just wanted to point that out as well. Now, let me see. Oh, who is this? Deb. All right, sorry guys, I'm a bit behind on the chat because I'm going on another tangent. He always got a fluffy rabbit. So this is Rochelle talking about Stewie when I asked about the rabbit and what's the connection particularly about the rabbit. And Rochelle's comment saying he's always got a fluffy rabbit and a white chocolate Easter egg. There you go. And have you done it for him this year? Just asking for a friend. Okay, one of my 14-year-old puppies is having a problem walking. Oh dear, the vet said it's not arthritis, but I'm not sure. Poppy, not puppies. My goodness. Maybe it's time I got glasses. What do you think, guys? Poppy's having problems walking. The vet said it's not arthritis, but I'm not sure. Okay. Let me see what I can pull up from Poppy. She's a big girl. Okay. What we got, Poppy? Are you finding it more in the back legs? Because this is, I'm saying that I'm feeling more back legs and it feels like things are out. Ligaments, I'm not sure. I'm not sure the anatomy of cats, but maybe something's out. What is that? Let me just see where I'm getting the feeling. Are you noticing on the side of, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I actually do feel that the joints are hurting. However, I feel like it's more on the side and I feel like it feels like things are out and off. I don't know why I'm doing this. It feels like I need to like a massage it, but I do feel like, and I'm actually getting more to the back anyway of my body, like feeling it in me. However, the vet said it's not arthritis, and I guess that's a deterioration of the, in there, the springy stuff in there. Very technical. But I do feel like inflammation. There's some sort of inflammation in there. Now, whether that's what's that from, and it just feels like, so I do feel like, yes, we're hurting. And I feel like things are out, and I do feel like there's inflammation in there, whether that's arthritis or not. I mean, I'm not a vet, so I cannot diagnose that. This is just what I'm feeling in my body. And I feel like I'm like this, almost like a little bit out. So I feel like I may have I wonder if she's actually hurt her back and it's kind of put things out a little bit, and like when I'm walking, it's a little bit difficult because you can see the way I'm holding my body, but this is for me is representing my lower back. So I feel like what this was doing with my hands is quite possibly just massage if you can, and you will find where the sore spot is and try and get that in alignment, because that's what I'm feeling, in alignment. So let me check the chat. So guys, I talk with my hands a lot. I guess it's my background, but I have to talk with my hands. I know that's weird, but it's just the way. Oh, Mort, hello. Yes, definitely back legs. There we go. Oh, okay. And Rochelle, back to Stewie. I believe he had a little bleed. Something different was happening as well as the GME. So the GME is his brain condition, very rare, unfortunately, for Rochelle with Stewie at that point in time. Deb's right. She's a cranky cat, but I'll try. She's cranky in pain. That's just, well, she's cranky anyway, but I think she's cranky because of pain. And if not, if you can't do that, if she won't allow you to do that, we'll encourage warm places, encourage a little bit of warmth to loosen things up, encourage things where she can stretch out and lie out. Animals are very good at knowing what they need as well, without being told. They can just, like, they will sit in a way that makes them feel comfortable. They'll stretch if they feel like they need to be stretched. So I would try and encourage warm areas for her to stretch out on, because the warmth will make everything a little bit looser in her body. You could then try also things in her food. Now, always check with a vet. I am not a vet and do not give out any vet advice, but you could do things that help, maybe a bit of coconut oil, things like that, to help get things a little bit looser, and so she can stretch out, and so we can, get things in alignment again. So I would do things like that. But again, always, guys, you always have to check this with your vet. Don't go and say Nicole said. This is just how I'm seeing it from the animal's perspective, and that's all I'm bringing through. Poppy's 14. Oh, she's a good girl. Deb's right. Yeah, she's always been cranky. Oh dear. So Poppy's 14. She's very beautiful. The vet pulled her legs around and said, no, not arthritis. Okay. I've actually had something similar to this. Can I just say I'm just going to give it from my perspective, because I'm not going to, I just find it easier. I'm not stealing anyone else's story. My dog, I feel like, had her hips hurt. And it was such an effort to get her to the vet because there's a bit of trauma there. But anyway, we got her there and they went, no, nothing wrong with her hips. And then we got her back and she was doing the same thing. And you can tell. And then I put her on some, did a bit of research and put her on some stuff to help her hips, and actually improved. But sometimes what they can do, and this could be what Poppy may have done, this is why I'm bringing it back around from my story, is they can hold their composure to make themselves look like nothing is wrong, because it's self-preservation. And they will hold themselves through the pain and do whatever they need to do just to get away from that. So, and I feel like that's what my dog did in that situation, because she does have a little bit of trouble getting up, and you can tell where it's coming from, and it's very clear at home, but she did not act like that at the vet. And they said, no, it's not the case. So it could be not the vet's fault as such. It could be that Poppy was just, right, you can do whatever, because I know, because I'm smart enough to know, you check me out, we're going to be here for a while, then I can get you home. The better I'm going to be, the quicker you do what you want to do with me, and just like looking at him, I can get out of here. So that could have been also a possibility. So I'm not knocking them. It could have just been, sometimes kids do this to us all the time. Oh, they're acting really sick, or they act sick, you take them to the doctor and they act fine. So it's like that. So it could have just been Poppy being Poppy in that manner. So there you go. But I do feel like there's something out that way. And it is causing inflammation. So that's how I feel is going on that's what I feel is going with Poppy. So I hope that makes sense to you, Deb. Let me see. Oh. What's going on here? Sorry, let me have a look. Oh, why is the chat keeps moving on me? Oh, she won't have to touch her food if there's anything in it. That's because she can smell it. Okay, well then that's fine. She's not going to do it. She's going to have to deal with it herself. You can say that to her as well. I want to give you this to help you, but if you don't want to have that, that's fine. Put it back on her. You might find she might change her mind after a while. So Jan wrote, your cat lost use of his legs and he did a vet check. The kidneys. She's one that bullies her sister. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Let me just see what's going on. Oh, the vet advised to put him down because he was in so much pain. That's horrible. But I guess they have an obligation to let you know if they feel that the pet's in pain and the best pain management, I guess. And look, when pets go into spirit and they are put to sleep, they don't experience the way we think they experience it. You know, they may not like the process, the step to get there, but they are okay when they are there. So I just want to bring that to you because it actually does bring relief to suffering in like physical pain in that way. And if they're in a lot of pain, and don't forget, they see that every day too. So they know they can pretty quickly find out and pinpoint. Damn, I might video her walking and show the vet. Pops is a smart cookie. There you go. And that may be the way to have a look at it because they may then be able to see a little bit better that because she's in her comfortable environment at home. So she's herself at home. And when we go out to a vet, it's different. And anyone can compose themselves very quickly out in public. But when you're at home, you can go, oh, God, this hurts. I'm going to sit here. So they do the same thing. So there could be a way. Thank you, Nicole. I know there's something off. There you go. And there you go. You know there's something off. That's the other thing too. So you are connected to Poppy and you know, even though you've been told no from the vet, which coincidentally goes back to what I was saying in the very beginning of the show, you know there's something off. So I would push it for her because she's asking you for help. And even though she wasn't helping herself, she doesn't know how. So she just knows I need help and I'm in pain and I don't know what to do, but I don't know how. So that's where we step in because we're their caregivers and we're like, okay, I'm going to push it on your behalf. And I know you will because you are a very good pet mum and you look after your pets and you do whatever is asked or needed for them. And she knows that too. So she can see that from Bailey. Don't forget, she can see what's happening and she knows the whole Bailey situation as well. So there you go, guys. I'm actually going to have to wrap the show up now because we do have a show on after the Realm of Darkness and I do need to respect their time so they can get on time and everyone else's time as well. So thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you for following me on the tangents today. Thank you for the interactions and the cats. It was a bit of a cat special today. I hope it made sense to not only the people that asked the questions, but to all the viewers also. But join me next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the date will be the 24th of April. So thank you guys all again, and I will see you next week. Have a great